I decided to kind of go back to my roots here and cover a little bit more on bolt action rifles. And I don't really want to focus on the milsurp stuff. I have a bunch of videos that I put out a little while ago. I think it was about a year ago or a couple years ago. I did some just recently too about military surplus type bolt action rifles, which I love, and they're fun to shoot, and I'm always going to like shooting them. But I wanted to kind of get back to my roots here and talk more about commercial bolt action rifles. More specifically, the kind of configuration of bolt action rifles that I know and love so well growing up in Alaska. And that's this right here. Not necessarily the Remington 700 specific brand, but the iron sight bolt action rifle that is set up for hunting, field use. That's kind of what I want to focus on. And the reason I want to focus on that is because it seems like everybody, at least in my area, everybody or almost everybody at least has one hunting rifle in the house. Whether it's a hand-me-down from a family member or whether it's a rifle they bought that they use just a couple times a year to go hunting or whatnot with. A lot of people have these rifles, and these rifles are overlooked. I kind of like what Clint Smith of Thunder Ranch does. For those of you that follow my channel for a long time, you know that I like Clint Smith. Now, he's talked about using the gun that you have to defend yourself with, and I'm totally on board with that. So I want to talk more about using contemporary bolt-action rifles for self-defense. I love AR-15s, you know that, and I love all kinds of semi-automatic cool guns. I have tons of them, but there are people out there that just don't have the luxury of having an AR-15. They don't have the luxury of spending a lot of money, or they live in a state where those types of rifles are very, very restricted. They may have something like this in their closets, or in a gun case under their bed, or in a fancy wooden gun safe, or on a gun rack or something sitting on the wall in their bedroom or living room. And I think it's useful to know how to use these things. And not just in a self-defense environment in the home, because these certainly do have a lot of restrictions because you're talking heavy caliber. I'm not talking light caliber 22s or anything like that. This particular one right here is a 270, and you get them in 30-06. You got the short magnums, you got all these different 300 Winchester Magnum up to like 375 H&H. You got some really big rifles. So I don't want to just focus on the home because there are some advantages and disadvantages to using a rifle like this at home for home defense. But hey, if it's what you have, it's what you have. But I also want to focus on using these in the woods. That is where I grew up around these rifles. In bear country in Alaska, an iron sight rifle in a medium caliber like a 270 or 30-06 or even more so is a great self-defense tool against big, huge, furry, four-legged animals. So I want to talk a little bit about that and do some cool videos on it. And another reason that I'm kind of leaning towards the contemporary hunting, so-called hunting style rifles, is because there's kind of a change in my life coming up here really soon. I'm moving. I'm still in Montana, but I'm moving to a different area in Montana. An area in Montana that has a lot of mountains, more mountains than what I'm used to here where I'm at, which is great because I grew up in Alaska, so very nice. A lot of mountains, a lot of trees, a lot of outdoors, and I want to really get back into that. I've been out of it for a little bit, so I want to get back to my roots, get out in the wilderness, and do my thing. So thinking about that has just got me kind of more motivated to make more videos regarding these so-called hunting rifles or FUD guns, whatever you want to call it. I'm not disowning AR-15s by any means. I'm still going to do a lot of videos on all the cool guns, semi-automatic handguns, AR-15, shotguns, all kinds of cool stuff. But I kind of want to focus on the bolt guns because it seems like most of us have the bolt guns, but they kind of go forgotten. They kind of sit in the corner. We'll take them out every once in a while. They're not cool. They're not flashy. They're just kind of plain Jane guns. I mean, look at this thing. I'll do a close-up here. There's really nothing crazy about this thing. I mean, it's kind of cool. It has a black stock, but it's just a basic Remington 700 chambered in 270. And it has iron sights. Doesn't even have a fancy optic on it. Very, very basic. But kind of a neat gun when you get behind it and you learn how to use it. All right, I'll stop talking, and more videos to follow. You guys have to bear with me. I know my content, I struggle to provide good content these days just because my schedule, it seems like whenever I think I'm going to have a break, my schedule gets crazier. Things happen, especially with this move. Hopefully when we get in a new spot, things are going to kind of peter out and things will kind of get at a level, a nice level day-to-day operation, so to speak. I'm not going to be worried about being stressed out with a whole bunch of stuff. So hopefully some really fun videos to follow here. And just for you Mosin Nagant fans, I'll just do one more. There's a lot of people that like this Mosin, and just kind of a close-up just to kind of show you how the wear, the Duracoat is wearing on this. I've had this for a few years now, and I've been shooting it. I love this gun. This thing is just fun. I love taking it out to the range. But seems to be wearing pretty good. So no complaints there. All right. I am talking a lot. I'm already over 6 minutes. So thanks a lot for watching. Like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more.